Peace. Peace to you, my dear friend. Sit with me for a moment. Just you and this breath. Close your eyes, gently now, and breathe in. Do you feel it? That subtle stillness? That's not silence. That's presence. You may not know it yet, but your eyes, yes, your eyes have been speaking to you. They've been whispering, not with words, but with sensations, patterns, and flickers of recognition. They've been pointing to something greater, something within. Today, I will share with you 3 sacred signs, 3 signals that your eyes are sending, signs that you are undergoing a powerful spiritual awakening, perhaps without even realizing it. But before we begin, I must tell you a story. The Candle and the Child. Many years ago, I was not the monk you see now. I was a restless boy in the monastery, curious, impatient, and hungry for answers. One evening, my teacher lit a candle during meditation. He said, "Stare into the flame. Do not blink. Do not look away." Minutes passed. My eyes burned. Tears welled, but I kept watching. Finally, I cried out, "Master, why must I suffer just to look at a flame?" He smiled and said, "Because your eyes have forgotten how to see without grasping. You look, but you do not observe. You seek light, but fear the truth it reveals." That night, something shifted. That candle was not just a flame. It became a mirror into myself. And so, my friend, I ask you now, what have your eyes been showing you? Not out there in the world, but within you? Sign number 1, you begin to see patterns that others miss. Have you noticed how often you're drawn to repeating numbers? 11, 11, 222. Or perhaps you keep seeing the same animal or the same person appears in your dreams. This is not coincidence. This is consciousness gently tapping you on the shoulder. You see, when your soul begins to awaken, your perception sharpens. Not with tension, but with clarity. Your eyes begin to decode the language of the universe. Let me tell you, once, while walking through a forest, I began seeing a white butterfly every morning. At first I ignored it, but day after day it fluttered near me, always when I was deep in thought. Then one day it landed on my robe. In that moment, I remembered. My late mother once said, "When you see a white butterfly, know that peace is near." Tears filled my eyes. Not of sadness, but of deep presence. Dear friend, your eyes are the first to receive the messages that your heart has not yet accepted. Patterns are spiritual fingerprints. When they appear, pause, observe, feel. Reflection. Ask yourself, what patterns am I noticing lately? What catches your gaze over and over again? This is your soul's way of saying, look closer. Now, if you're resonating with this, if your heart is beginning to stir, I ask you to stay with me, for the second sign is even more powerful. But before we move on, remember this. The eyes do not lie, but more importantly, they do not sleep forever. Let us take a breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the heart. Are you ready to see what your awakening truly looks like? Now that we have seen the first sign, that your eyes begin to notice patterns others overlook, let's move deeper into the second sign. A sign that can feel confusing at first, sometimes even unsettling, but it is, in truth, a gift in disguise. Sign number 2, you begin to see through illusions. You no longer look at things the same way. A smile that once seemed kind now feels forced. A situation that seemed normal now feels deeply out of alignment. You can't explain why, but something has changed. It's not the world that has shifted, it's your vision. Your inner eyes, what we in the monastery call drishti, are beginning to open. Not just the physical sight, but the sight of truth. The mask seller. Let me tell you a story. When I was traveling through a small Himalayan village, I came across an old man selling masks. He had dozens, some smiling, some crying, some frightening. A child approached him and asked, "Which one is the real face?" The old man laughed and said, "None, but they all help you see who people pretend to be." That struck me deeply. For most of my early life, I thought people were exactly as they appeared. I believed their words, their smiles, their roles. But when my spiritual journey began, I started to see through these masks. I saw pain behind laughter, loneliness behind busyness, fear behind anger, and most importantly, I saw the masks I wore myself. This is the second warning sign. When your eyes no longer simply look, they pierce. They no longer chase beauty. They seek truth. Inner reflection, if lately you've been feeling disillusioned with the world, if the things that once excited you now feel empty, if people's words sound loud but hollow, this is not something going wrong. This is something going right. You are beginning to awaken. You are no longer asleep in the dream of illusion. You are beginning to live in the clarity of awareness. And that can feel lonely at first. But dear one, do not retreat. Do not numb. Stay with it. You are not becoming colder. You are becoming clearer. One evening in the monastery, I sat beneath a banyan tree with my teacher. I said, "Why does the world feel so different now?" He smiled and replied, "It is not the world that has changed. It is the dust on your eyes that has cleared. That dust is ego. That dust is conditioning. That dust is fear. When your eyes begin to see clearly, you may grieve what you once believed, but that grief is holy. That grief is the price of truth." Let us pause again, dear friend. Place your hand gently over your heart. Can you feel it beating? Can you sense the life within you? You are not alone in this journey. You are simply becoming more awake to what has always been there. Simple practice, the mirror ritual. Tonight, after this video, try this. Stand before a mirror, not to judge, but to see. Look into your own eyes, not your face, your eyes, and ask, what am I hiding from myself? What illusions am I still clinging to? Do not rush the answer. It will come. When your heart is ready, the eyes will reveal it. Now, are you ready for the third sign? This next one is perhaps the most mystical, the most sacred, and it often arrives quietly when you least expect it. I invite you to stay present with me, to keep your breath soft, your thoughts gentle, and your heart open. Because the third and final sign may change how you view not only your vision, but your very purpose. You've come far with me, dear one. You've listened, not just with your ears, but with your awareness, with your inner sight. You're ready now. Let us open the final door. Sign number 3. Your eyes fill with emotion for no clear reason. Suddenly, you cry during a song. You tear up looking at a child playing. A sunset stops you in your tracks. You stare into the eyes of a stranger, and you feel everything. You don't know why, but something within you moves. That is not weakness. That is not confusion. That is your soul remembering itself. The stream of tears. Let me share one final story. Years ago, I spent a week in silence at a mountain retreat. On the 5th day, while watching the morning sun break through mist, I felt tears fall from my eyes. There was no reason, no sadness, no joy, just a release. I asked my teacher later, "Why did I cry when nothing was wrong?" He said, "Nothing was wrong. For once, everything was right. The soul weeps when it recognizes its own light." That moment changed me. I began to understand. The eyes are not just observers of the world. They are mirrors of the soul. When the soul stirs, the eyes overflow. You are remembering what you are. If you've been feeling deeply emotional without reason, if you suddenly cry when you see something beautiful, if your vision blurs not from weakness, but from awakening, you are not breaking. You are breaking open, and that is the most sacred stage of all. You are not who you were. You are returning to the truth of what you are. Not a name, not a role, not a story, but a being of light, of love, of presence. The gift of awareness. So now, let us remember the 3 sacred signs your eyes give you as you awaken. You see patterns others don't. The universe is speaking in symbols, and your soul is beginning to listen. You begin to see through illusions. The masks fall away. Truth becomes clearer, even if it hurts. You are moved by beauty, deeply and suddenly. Not from weakness, but from sacred recognition. The eyes are not just organs of sight, they are portals of awareness. And when they begin to shift, your whole life will begin to realign. You may lose people, you may walk alone, you may question everything, but in the silence of your heart, you will hear the only voice that matters, your own. Finally awakened. Final guided practice. Eyes of the soul before we part. Let us take one last practice together. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Now imagine your eyes opening inward. What do you see? What do you feel? Now, whisper to yourself, "I am ready to see the truth. I am ready to live from awareness." Say it again. Feel it vibrate in your bones. You are safe. You are supported. You are seen. Conclusion. A blessing. May your eyes never again forget the light they carry. May your gaze become one that heals others. And may you always remember, what you seek is already within you. The journey is not ahead of you. It is inside you, and I am merely a mirror. You are the light. Thank you for sitting with me. Soft temple bell. Long pause. Go gently. Go slowly. And go. With awakened eyes. If this message stirred something within you, share it with someone who may be waking up too. Comment below, "I see the signs," and subscribe for more wisdom on your journey home. Until next time, be still, be aware, and remember, your eyes are not just open, they are awakening.